South Coast Health pregame show with Alex Feuz. I'm Cameron Ezeir. For the third time this season, the Wareham Gatemen are taking on the Chatham Anglers. But let's focus on the Wareham side of things a little bit before we go over to Chatham and this matchup as an entirety. The Wareham Gatemen are coming off an 8-game stretch in which they won 5 of the 8 games, and they looked red hot in the last week and a half.
Yeah, it's coming off a win on Sunday, off day yesterday, and a big one today against the Chatham A's. And this is a team that is going to have to play 6 straight, so hopefully trying to pick up right where they left off.
The Wareham Gatemen, prior to that off day, a 4-2 win over the Falmouth Commodores. It was 2-2 going into the 9th. Hogan Windish played hero for the Gatemen, and it just seems like this Gateman team has put everything together.
When this Gateman team hits on all cylinders and pitches to really the expectation from Harvey Shapiro, they win ball games, and we've saw it all season long. They've never lost big. They've been in every single game, and that's what winners do. And I think just where they are right now with the next 6 games coming up, and this is a team that really can make up some ground coming up to the playoff push.
And Alex, then off day yesterday at Fenway Park, I know you were there. Well, what kind of experience was that like for these players?
Well, it's a highlight for all these players, right? They are all baseball fans, and it's a place that it's America's most beloved ballpark. A lot of history. You walk into Fenway Park and the walls talk, and these players really love to get the chance to take over at the field and be exactly where the Yankees and Red Sox were playing just 12 hours prior.
Alex, we hope that that pro type of environment will translate for a couple players in Hogan Windish and Max Anderson. As 2 teammates, they've combined for 56 hits. That's the most by a duo of teammates, 28 for Hogan, 28 for Max. What's made them so good?
Well, I think it's just their love for the game of baseball. These are 2 pure hitters that can perform at any level of the game of baseball, and proving to do so right here. Max Anderson is probably the most underrated player on this team. I would best compare him to the DJ LeMahieu of the New York Yankees. He is just so great at the plate. He hits all fields, but not for power, because that's not his integrity at the plate. I think he can hit for power, but he doesn't need to. He just gets the big hits, and you just see how he can be so solidified at the plate.
So Max Anderson's 13-game hit streak just came to an end, but fortunately for the Gatemen, they're at 4th in the West Division, so still in the playoff picture. For the Chatham Anglers on the other side, they're at 5th in the East, and they're not in the playoff picture as of now. 18 playoff, 10 teams, 5th place team in each division doesn't make the playoffs. What do the Wareham Gatemen need to do today to make sure they win this ball game?
Well, hit on all cylinders. They need a complete game. They were in both of the 2 games in the doubleheader that they lost to Chatham a few weeks prior to tonight, and they were in every single game, but it's only 7 innings. So this Gateman team has not fared well in just 7-inning ball games. They got a 9-1 tonight, and this is a win that they need against a team that's been struggling all season long. If you want to have a great season, you have to beat up on the teams that are struggling, and that's what the Gatemen need to do tonight.
The Chatham Anglers are 6-14-6. That's the worst record on the Cape. They also have the least amount of runs, the least amount of hits. For the Gatemen, they're top half in the league in runs and hits. On the other side, we'll be joined by the 3rd member of our team, Claire Foley, as she has a bit more on the South Coast Health pregame show when we return. For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It only takes 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
Here with Max Anderson. Max, how special was yesterday at Fenway?
It was awesome. I mean, as a kid, you're dreaming of going there and just kind of standing on the field and being able to play on it was just something special and just something you just kind of had to take in.
And you had 2 balls go into the monster, one completely over. How awesome was that?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was like a childhood dream come true.
And you've been playing really well on the field. You've had 7 multi-hit games in the past 2 weeks. What's that been like?
It's been good. I mean, the guys just keeping everything loose in the dugouts, helping out, and just kind of remembering it's a game is important. And I think just think about having fun is the most important part.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Max.
Wherever you call home, from Boston to the South Shore to the South Coast to the Cape and Islands, Rogers Gray has you covered for all coastal homeowners insurance needs. Rogers Gray is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Learn more at rogersgray.com.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military and veterans. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
Back here on the South Coast Health pregame show with Alex Feuz, I'm Cameron Ezeir. We're at Spillane Field, the first time the Gatemen are taking on the Anglers here in Wareham, Massachusetts. Alex, 2 teams at the Sellers in their respective divisions. Fortunately for the Gatemen, they're still in the playoff picture. The Anglers are not, but we focus more on this game. Matt Jasek taking the mound for his 5th start for the Wareham Gatemen against Bourne just a week ago. He was fantastic.
Yeah, Jasek is a pitcher that has the experience needed, and he's a guy that also has the control on the mound, and that's what the Gatemen need. They need a pitcher to come off a win and an off day and restart for this big stretch of games coming up for the Gatemen.
So Matt Jasek in his first start for the Gatemen didn't really have his best stuff, or pardon me, he did have really good stuff. No earned runs in that outing, but his next 2, he gave up a combined 6 earned runs. You'd wonder, okay, is the Indiana State Sycamore struggling a bit? Against the Bourne Braves on 4th of July, he twirled with 6 strong, didn't give up an earned run. He was so dominant on the bump. You look at his repertoire and what he has, going up an Anglers group that is last in the league in hits, last in the league in runs. What are you expecting out of Jasek today?
Well, I think Jasek needs to be him. I think when he is himself and on, he's unhittable, and that's what the Gatemen need, right? I think Jasek is a pitcher that is going to challenge Chatham, and they're going to have to really work his pitch count up to try to get to the bullpen and knock Jasek out of this game if you're the Chatham A's.
Yeah, the Chatham A's will send out Nicholas Regalado out of Florida Southwestern College. He was a Miami Hurricane, and we're dealing with some tough conditions right now. It's really, really windy at Spillane Field. Many are expecting close to 30-mile-per-hour winds, so it'll be interesting to see how the weather takes in part in this game between the Wareham Gatemen and the Chatham Anglers. Well, first pitch is coming up at 6 o'clock. That'll conclude the South Coast Health pregame show with Claire Foley and Alex Feuz. I'm Cameron Ezeir. We'll see you for first pitch on the other side. Each and every game here at Spillane Field is made possible by our sponsors. Let's take a moment to recognize Gateway Tavern, Coastal Orthodontics, Fairway Financial, Joanne Stevenson, Sullivan Wine and Spirits, Deb Levesque Massage Therapy, the Law Office of Mark Deshays, Office Technology Group, J&M Baseball Academy, South Coast Health, Minkle Boys Catering, 80 Makepeace, Reed Custom Soils, Soft as a Grape, Bay Motor Inn, Point Sign, Wareham, Sipicon, and Dartmouth Week, Cranberry Self Storage, Village Signs, the Law Office of Lang, Exaferris, and Bullard, Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP, Robertson's GMC, Effie's Homemade, Wareham Country Market, the Wareham House of Pizza, Robbery's Tree Service, Patty Wild, Onset Bay Association, Select PT, El Mariachi, Water Whiz, and Cool Cone. Thank you once again to our sponsors of your Wareham Gateman. We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape League and the 10 teams. Our corporate sponsors are the financial backbone of the league. It is with their support that we are able to preserve our long-standing tradition of providing the best family entertainment here on Cape Cod, free of charge. On behalf of the 9 other teams, the Wareham Gatemen, league officers, and the entire Cape League family, we would like to announce and thank our 2022 corporate sponsors. With much appreciation, we recognize the Yawkey Foundation, Gibson Sotheby's, Curry College, the 99 Restaurants, Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod, Badger Sport, Zephyr Hats, Cape Cod 5 Cents Saving Bank, Milton Cat, Mosquito Marys, Massachusetts State Lottery. We will be back to you in the next inning for the second half of this outstanding list of loyal sponsors.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education and graduate studies, including fifth-year master's programs at curry.edu.
Mosquito bites and ticks. No, yikes! When the bugs get scary, just call Mosquito Marys. 866 Ask Mary, or visit us at mosquitomarys.com.
The Gateway Tavern, located on Marion Road in Wareham, offers an extensive but not exhaustive array of menu choices. They search for the finest in foods, ranging from garden fresh produce to hand-selected seafood, and have special menus that change daily. The Gateway Tavern is proud to be the official helmet of the Wareham Gateman.
Welcome to Spillane Field in Wareham, Massachusetts for another edition of Wareham Gateman Baseball. Alongside Alex Feuz, I'm Cameron Ezeir. It's an outer divisional matchup between two teams that haven't seen each other in over 3 weeks. It's the Chatham Anglers against the Wareham Gatemen, two teams that are just fighting to stay in the playoff race. The Chatham Anglers, they're 5th in the East Division, currently out of the playoffs. The Wareham Gatemen, they're 4th in the West, so currently residing in that final spot in the West Division in order to make the playoffs. A huge game for both teams, especially a Gateman team that's looked really good over the last week, Alex.
Yeah, and like I told you on the pregame show, Cam, obviously this is a Gateman team looking at a team that only has 6 wins on the season, and 2 of those 6 came against the Gatemen. That was in just the first 2-week portion of this season. So the old cliche in baseball goes, if you want to make the playoffs, you got to beat up on the teams that are struggling, and this is the team in Chatham that are struggling. But this is the Gateman offense and really pitching staff that are coming up a hot stretch, and which they won on Sunday, off day yesterday, and this is a big matchup tonight that the Gatemen have to win if they're looking to pick up where they left off.
Wareham has won 5 out of their last 8 games. That's a stretch unlike any other in the Cape League season for the Gatemen. And we'll highlight Matt Jasek on the mound in a second, but the defensive alignment for the Wareham Gatemen, from third to first, Derek Fabian out of Florida, Brian Padilla out of UConn. He started the last couple games at second, but shifted over to the shortstop position. Max Anderson, we're used to seeing him at the hot corner, but he is so versatile in the infield. He plays second out of Nebraska. Alan Roden out of Creighton is at first. From left field to right field, Hogan Windish, he's as good as it gets as an everyday left fielder. He'll have to deal with some pretty tough conditions, which we'll highlight later. He's in left. Chase Davis, the newcomer, is in center, and the returning Gateman is in right in Owen Diodati, heading to Oregon in the fall. Catching calling the signs for Matt Jasek in his 5th start on the mound is Peter Burns. For Chatham, it'll be Guy Garibay Jr., Marcus Brown, and Rock Riggio, 3 lefties to lead it off against the guy in the bump. Matt Jasek out of Indiana State will head into his senior season in the fall. 6 feet tall, 205 pounds, 97 innings of work this past spring, a 2.88 ERA. He struck out 80 batters, and he was Indiana State's virtual #1 on the mound. First pitch to the lefty is a strike down the middle to Guy Garibay Jr., who just wrapped up his sophomore season at Rice University down in the Lone Star State in Texas. A 196 hitter on the summer. Another fastball from Matt Jasek, that's called strike 2. This is the 5th start for Matt Jasek. His last was on the 4th of July. 6 innings of work, gave up just 3 hits, no earned runs, and struck out 5 to walking none. The 0-2, another fastball called strike 3. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, sits down Guy Garibay. First strikeout of the day for Matt Jasek, and that's number 19 on the season.
Well, his control has been there all summer long for Jasek, and it's just been really fun to watch him just dominate on that mound and doing so quickly here tonight.
Stepping in, Marcus Brown out of Oklahoma State, the lefty. 2-hopper to the right side, backhand attempt under the glove of Max Anderson, dribbles into right center field. So Marcus Brown gets a base hit off the bottom of the glove. It eluded his glove down on the ground, and there'll be a guy on first, and Marcus Brown for his collegiate teammate Rock Riggio at the plate.
And they gave him the base hit on that one. This is just the 5th game of the summer that Anderson has been at second base, and the rest of them have come at third or first.
But Max Anderson knows all too well there's a long game to go as we're only in the top of the first. First pitch swinging, high fly ball to right. Canicorn catch for Owen Diodati in deep right field off the swing of Rock Riggio, and there's 2 away. Alex, this is a guy in Matt Jasek who I had the chance to talk to before the season started, and he talked to me about he's not a guy that's going to blow you away. He's not throwing 98. He's more of a movement pitcher, but he believes his stuff is sharp enough that he can bring value to this team, and he's done it so far. First pitch to Cooper Ingle, high chopper to the right side. Anderson gloves over to first. A quick first inning, although Marcus Brown scratched across a single, and we'll head to the bottom of the first, and the first time we're seeing the Wareham offense, and Chase Davis, Hogan Windish, and Max Anderson. Who are the others? Well, you'll have to stick along to find out as we head to the bottom of the first. You're watching Wareham Gateman Baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous Colossal Lobster Rolls, piled high on a grilled brioche and served hot buttered or just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal.
The Wareham-based 80 Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is the world's largest cranberry grower and the largest private property owner in eastern Massachusetts. The company supports organizations like the Wareham Gateman and projects like the outdoor cranberry bog classroom that you may have passed on your way in. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
We're back at Spillane Field. The Wareham Gateman taking on the Chatham Anglers after Matt Jasek faces 4 and downs 3 of them. We're in the bottom of the first. Nicholas Regalado on the mound out of Florida Southwestern State after transferring from the University of Miami after his first season at Florida Southwestern State this past spring. 15 appearances, 37 1/3 innings of work. Gave up 16 earned runs, finished with a 3.86 ERA, 48 Ks to 20 walks. And on the Cape so far, Regalado is in his 5th outing, his 4th start, standing at 6'2", 210, a rising junior. He has a 2.25 ERA on the summer.
I love that strikeout to walk ratio as a starter. I mean, that's what winners do on the mound.
He deals to Chase Davis out of Arizona, who watches the first pitch breeze past out of the zone on the outside. Be Chase Davis, then Hogan Windish and Max Anderson. These have been the reliable three over the past 3 or 4 games. Davis, the lefty, out of Arizona. 1-0 pitch. Fouls it back. Defensive alignment for the Anglers. From third to first is Daly, Brown, Riggio, and Grice. From left to right is Guy Garibay Jr., Jake DeLeo, and Matt Hogan. And catching and calling the signs is Travinsky. For Nicholas Regalado, in his 4th start, like I mentioned, you talk about that strikeout to walk ratio. This summer, it's just as good, 2-1, 20 strikeouts, 10 walks, and that's after striking out and walking 4 batters each in his first appearance as he delivers a pitch outside. So in the last 3 outings, Regalado's done a great job commanding the strike zone. Chase Davis at the dish, his 5th straight start, the leadoff position. 2-1, hard hit through the left side and through. Base hit for Chase Davis. It must feel good after Chase Davis failed to record a hit against the Falmouth Commodores a couple days ago. Took that off day to relax and now is back with a base hit to lead things off.
And one thing we should all note is the weather conditions. It's a nice day, but a windy one. Winds over 30 miles an hour, and Brown at shortstop has already lost his hat, so that's 1 on the day. And it's going to be difficult for the defense on both sides.
Breaking ball called strike 1 to Hogan Windish. You're right, we were down on the field earlier, and I'm pretty sure that I blew away a couple times. My feet did leave the ground. Tough for these ball players. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball grounded to the left side. Brown flips over to Riggio for 1 to first for 2. Double play ball. 6-4-3 off the bat of Hogan Windish, and that retires 2 in the bottom of the first.
And that's going to be the key for both of these pitchers between Regalado and Jason. You're going to have to really transform to be a ground ball pitcher tonight. If you get the ground balls in a big spot like that to get Windish to ground into a double play, that's crucial. You don't want any balls hit into the outfield tonight.
Fastball is delivered on the outer part of the plate to Max Anderson, who had his 13-game hit streak come to an end against Falmouth a couple days ago. Went 0 for 5. Big hack and a miss behind the count 0-2. Regalado in 4 outings, only given up 9 hits. So he's someone that just knows how to command the zone as he delivers a fastball outside of it. And you're right, you don't want to test the wind that much. If a ball gets in the air, half the time you don't know where it's going because it could drift off to either way in the airstream. 1-2. Fastball swing and a miss. Regalado strikes out Max Anderson, his first K of the day, and thanks to a double play ball, Regalado faces the minimum through 1. And we head to the top of the second with no score between the Gateman and the Anglers on the Gateman Broadcast Network. Mark Deshays has been practicing law in southeastern Massachusetts for over 30 years. His primary focus is on all aspects of real estate law, including residential and commercial real estate transactions, commercial leasing, land development, land use and zoning law, and land conservation matters. If you need representation, call now at 508-993-2300.
Gibson Sotheby's International Realty is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League, offering residential sales and vacation rentals across the Cape. We help you turn someday into right now. Each office is independently owned and operated. Sotheby's International Realty is a registered trademark.
We're back at Spillane Field for game 27 of 44. This one between the Wareham Gateman and the Chatham Anglers. The Anglers send out 5, 6, and 7 in their order. And Caden Grice, Jake DeLeo, and Matt Hogan. Starting it off with Caden Grice, who made a statement First time these two teams met, it was actually the first day that these two teams faced off. Game 2 of the doubleheader, he delivered a 2-run home run to deep center field, and that was the only scoring in that 2-0 win for Chatham. Swings and misses at a pitch from Jacek down in the zone. But it's a Chatham team that, other than Caden Grice and that home run that left the park, that's really the only offense that they've had to show for this season. The only team batting under 200 on the Cape this year. Jacek delivers a strike on the outer half.
Yeah, Grice quickly behind 0-2, and the strikeout to walk ratio for Grice not great, 36-7.
The 0-2 pitch, fouled back. And Matt Jacek will look to put away a powerful hitter in Caden Grice. Played on Team USA last year. Been here since opening day, a 203 hitter on the summer with 16 hits to his name. But you're right, that ratio's not in his favor, and the count isn't either. The 0-2. Hard hit right side, it's fair! Caden Grice rounds first, he's heading to second, giving chase and right as Owen Diodati. He'll throw it to the infield, but Caden Grice avoids losing his helmet and gets over to second base. That's a double down the line for the Clemson Tiger.
Just his second double on the summer, and a big spot to get a runner in scoring position with nobody out here in the second.
I've talked about how much Chatham has really struggled to hit, but in the last 8 games, they're batting 16 points as a team above their average of 194. A team that is 6-14-6 on the season. 2 of those wins have come in this last 8-game stretch. And the Bats, well, they're a little better in the last week or so. As Jake DeLeo stands in, shows bunt, pulls back as a pitch misses low. Jake DeLeo has been the best hitter on this team, and it's quite frankly not even close. A 284 hitter with 19 hits, that leads the team. He also has 6 extra base hits. One of 2 righties in this lineup for the Chatham Anglers. Shows bunt, again pulls back. It's interesting in this spot that Chatham Anglers manager Tom Holliday, who's entering his 4th season as the Chatham manager, would elect for the best hitter in this lineup to bunt, but with a guy at second and the offense really struggling as of late, it makes a little bit of sense. Righty delivers the 2-0. Chopper up the middle and through, base hit. Grice gets the wave home, and he'll score easily. 1-0 Chatham. For a team whose offense has been stagnant all season long, they take advantage in the second.
It was a pitch that was kind of left right over the heart of the plate, and that was able to just score Grice in a big spot, right? You show bunt twice, pull back 2-0, and Jacek knows he has to deliver a pitch, but DeLeo takes advantage of that mistake and knocks it right up the middle. Went old school.
The lefty Matt Hogan stands in out of South Carolina. The runner at first, still no outs. Showing bunt again, pulls back. Burns checks over at first, and the ball gets into right field. DeLeo heads off for second, and we'll stop there. An error from Peter Burns on the throw was a good thought because Jake DeLeo was a good 5-6 steps off of first, but that ball got under the glove of Alan Roden into right. And with no outs, there's a guy at second. Matt Hogan still at the plate. Matt Jacek hadn't given up an earned run since June 28th. Bunt dribbled over to the left side, a good one. Jacek picks it up, throws it over to first in time. So Jacek still keeping his head on his shoulders, and I think that's one of the things that many of us in the Gateman organization admire about Matt Jacek, or at least work in and around the Wareham Gateman, is not many things will faze him. After giving up an earned run, still does his due diligence off the bump. A runner does move over to third, though, in Jake DeLeo. First pitch to Mitchell Daly was an off-speed low, but called strike 1. Daly out of Texas. Time is called. The umpiring crew for today, Tim Carey behind at home plate, Al Libradoni at first and Jeff Kinney at third. Peter Burns is heading over to the dugout. So he has maybe some problems with his catching glove, and he throws it over in the direction of his dugout. He's searching for another glove, and he'll get it from Ryan Campos, who is another catcher on this team out of Arizona State, but has the day off today. So Peter Burns finds another glove. Still a runner at third. With one away in the top of the second and a 1-0 Chatham lead. Jacek the pitch. It's fouled off to the right side from Mitchell Daly. Daly, a 200 hitter on the summer. It's a hit in 4 of his last 5. The Indiana State Sycamores on the mound. The 0-2. Off speed, had a whole lot of movement on it, missed outside.
Yeah, a lot of Jacek's pitches here over the second, missing the zone, which is forcing him to really throw in poor counts, and that's why he's going to hit up a little bit here.
Yeah, now the count's 2-2, so it was a favorable count, but one ball away from being a full count for an Anglers team with a runner at third. The pitch is popped up out of play to the right side, and we'll do it again. Pitch is bopped up to the right side. Diodati gives chase, makes the grab, tagging up, coming home, and sliding in for a run for the Chatham Anglers is Jake DeLeo. It's 2-0 Chatham. We're in the top of the second. As Hayden Travinsky stands in, the catcher out of LSU. Now, no one on the base paths. The first pitch misses outside. The 1-0. Strike down the middle from Matt Jacek. Hayden Travinsky out of LSU, the rising junior, takes a breaking ball that misses down and outside. Count 2-1. Two-one pitch fouled off to the left side for a player in Matt Jacek making his 5th start on the bump for the Gateman. He pitched 13 innings of work last summer with the Bourne Braves. That was toward the end of the year. A 7-inning outing, 6 innings followed up on that 6 days later, and a guy that was absolutely lights out in Jacek. A .69 ERA in those 2 outings. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Travinsky. The pitch. Clock, deep left field. Windish can only look at it. It's out of here. Way out of here. Hayden Travinsky rounds second. He'll be coming home to now a 3-0 lead for the Anglers, and Matt Jacek getting tossed around in the second.
That one hit all the way to the bleachers here at Spillane Field over the left field wall, and this is not what we saw from Jacek in his last few starts, and again, got in a tough count and just left a fastball right over the heart of the plate, and Travinsky took advantage of that mistake from Jacek.
The order's flipped over to Guy Garibay Jr., who struck out in the first, and for Hayden Travinsky, that's his first homer of the season and ends a 3-game hitless streak. 1-0 pitch is a fastball that clips the outside corner. Count 1-1. And it's a Gateman team that They beat Falmouth 4-2, and in the previous week, they were rarely giving up more than 2 or 3 runs. They've already given up 3 to Chatham. High chopper down the first base line. Roden steps on first himself, and that finally ends the top of the second. So Matt Jasek gets tossed around a bit, and off a Hayden Travinsky homer that closes it out. 3-0 Chatham as we head to the bottom of the second on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
We want our money to work as hard for us when we retire as we did working to accumulate it. My name is Steve Anzoni, and I am president of Fairway Financial Insurance Agency. Money is just a tool to help you to do what you ultimately want to do, which is to travel, spend time with your kids, grandkids, and do other stuff. And I want to be the guy that's going to help you navigate the course of life, to help you avoid those sand traps and get you onto the green and into the hole with greater financial confidence.
Serving southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island, Office Technology Group has been the area's source for advanced digital multifunctional copiers since 2009. Call Office Technology Group at 508-858-5825.
Soft as a Grape has 10 retail locations on Cape Cod. So even when you're cheering on your Gateman at any away games, stop into a Soft as a Grape store for the best Cape Cod products. No trip to the Cape is complete without a trip to Soft as a Grape.
Well, we're back in Wareham, Massachusetts, alongside Alex Feuz. I'm Cameron Ezeir. 3-0 is the Chatham Anglers lead after a 3-spot put up in the top of the second. And now Nicholas Regalado out of Florida Southwestern State will face the middle of the order for the Gatemen and Owen Diodati, Alan Roden, and Carter Graham. But as we head back to that top of the second, just not a pretty inning for the Gatemen.
Yeah, Jasek couldn't really get in a good rhythm, and the Anglers took advantage of their mistakes.
As Diodati dodges out of the way, a player that's batted cleanup in 4 out of the last 5 games. New addition in the month of July, 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Good off speed from Regalado, the count 1-1. Diodati was a mainstay on the Gateman last summer. He was named a Cape League All-Star. Had 7 home runs. 1-1 off speed, clips the outer half, the count 1-2. And this season, Diodati's really picked up where he's left off, a .389 hitter in just 6 games. One-two delivery. Oh, what a pitch down in the dirt, and Diodati fans. There's one away in the bottom of the second.
Back-to-back strikeouts now on the mound from Regalado, and that's what you're looking for. If you're a pitcher and Regalado, you get a 3-run lead in the top half of the second inning, and you really got to take advantage of that.
And right now, Regalado is doing that. On the mound with a 3-0 advantage, like you said, as Alan Roden stands in, a fastball outside. Nicholas Regalado has never pitched in a win. 3 losses and a tie as Roden fights it off. Alan Roden, a .240 hitter on the summer. A couple days ago against Falmouth was the first game he missed in the Cape season. Did not play. Harvey Shapiro, the field manager for the Gatemen, likes to shift around his lineup. 1-1. Breaking ball outside.
And Roden's a great player to have up in this situation, trying to get something going here with 1 away. And it's a hitter that really likes to be patient at the plate. 5 walks and 6 strikeouts, so that's what you're looking for.
Now the count is in Roden's favor at 3-1. So that really good ratio for Alan Roden. Walks to strikeouts will probably be a factor here, and it is. Fastball misses inside and a walk to Alan Roden. Second base runner for the Gateman, stepping in Carter Graham.
I mean, that's exactly what you're looking for. One out, you're just trying to get base runners to get yourself back into this game, and especially with Carter Graham and one swing of it with the wind blowing heavily out to right field, you're just hoping that, Graham can get a hold of one, and now it's just a one-run game.
Well, he had a lot of power at the collegiate level this past spring. Led the Pac-12 with 22 home runs as he takes a fastball in on the hands. Carter Graham out of Stanford. He was 2 for 4 in that win against Falmouth a couple days ago. Runner at first, one away. Fastball off the checked swing of Graham.
If you're a hitter, that's just so frustrating. You're thinking about going in and pull back, but you still make contact. That's still a strike. You wish he didn't go there.
Yeah, we'll see what the Stanford Cardinal approach is here. 1-1. Another fastball probably should have went there at a pitch a bit low, but flirted with the strike zone. Called strike 2. So the count 1-2 to Carter Graham. 331 hitter in the spring, trying to carry that over to this summer. Fastball just outside, and the count even.
Yeah, great take from Graham there. This offense realizes they're down by 3. You gotta just get base runners on.
2-2 breaking ball outside to the designated hitter, Graham. We do have a base runner on at first, with only one away in the bottom of the second in a 3-0 ball game in favor of the road team. Payoff runner goes, swing and a miss. The throw down to second in time. Strike him out, throw him out. And Nicholas Regalado, thanks to his defense, has faced the minimum through 2. And we head to the top of the third with the Chatham Anglers still up 3-0 here at Spillane Field. You're watching Wareham Gateman Baseball when we come back on the Gateman Broadcast Network. Summer is here, and we are finally back to enjoying all our favorite outdoor activities. As temperatures rise, so does the risk for unexpected injuries. South Coast Health Urgent Care Centers are open, safe, and here to provide the care you need when you need it. Our 7 locations are open 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Walk-ins are welcome, and having a South Coast Health physician is not required. Visit southcoast.org/urgent care to check wait times and reserve your spot today.
Reed Custom Soils is New England's leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installations and is the exclusive New England supplier of stabilized stone dust. Reed Custom Soils services over 300 golf courses and provides unique blends to fit your needs, all by experienced precision blenders. To learn more about how Reed Custom Soils can serve you, call toll-free 1-800-924-5335 or head to reedcustomsoils.com.
We're in the top of the third at Spillane Field. Really odd conditions, 77-degree weather. That's a good thing. Maybe a bad thing in terms of on the baseball field, 19-mile-per-hour winds. So we'll see how that affects the top half of the third with the Anglers up 3-0 on the Wareham Gateman. It'll be the heart of the order for the Anglers. Marcus Brown takes a pitch inside for ball 1. Marcus Brown singled back in the first. Out of Oklahoma State, just wrapped up his sophomore season. Rock Riggio and Cooper Engel behind him. 1-0 fastball is low to a player in Matt Jasek that a lot of trust instilled within him. Harvey Shapiro welcoming him back to the Cape after coaching him in Bourne last summer. His coaches back at Indiana State also have a lot of faith in him. 2-0 off the leg of Brown as he hobbles over to his right and will collect himself. But a player in Matt Jasek that You just see he plays with confidence. The confidence oozes out of him, and a big reason why is because there's so much trust in him.
Looking to settle things down. 4 hits, 3 runs tonight through the first 2 innings, and trying to just get back his mojo on the mound.
Jasek gets ready, the 2-1 pitch. Clock to right, it'll fall for a base hit. Second of the day for Marcus Brown, a pair of singles. This one to lead off the third. Early on, Alex, what are you seeing out of Jasek that is not a replication of what we saw from him on the 4th of July when he was dealing?
Well, I think it's just pitchers just missing either outside or inside, and you get behind, and then you're forced to throw the sliders or strikes looking to really hit the zone, and he's getting hit. I mean, the strikes are getting hit, which obviously this Chatham team has struggled all season long offensively, but they're finding success tonight.
First pitch swinging over and through to the right side. Rounding second, heading to third, and will get there safely is Marcus Brown. So back-to-back singles on back-to-back pitches for the Anglers, and they have 2 on here in the top of the third, already up 3 with no outs. And a reminder, this is a Chatham team that is last in the league in hits and runs, and they're piling it on Matt Jasek early.
And that hit from Riggio there wasn't a really mistake pitch from Jasek. That's just unlucky. Got the ground ball on the right side, but right through both Roden and Anderson for a base hit. Now you got runners on the corners, and Eddie Marco here just trying to settle down Jasek and figure out what's missing and trying to get back to everyone on the same page and get back Jasek to who he is on the mound.
Eddie Marco was the pitching coach at Bourne a season ago, a Braves team that made it all the way to the championship game before losing to the Brewster Whitecaps. Matt Jasek told me before the season that loves the coaching staff here, and Harvey Shapiro, Eddie Marco, and the rest of the returners, and even the newer guys, saying that they put a lot of trust in him like we were talking about earlier, and they just support his game as it is. Now he'll have to deal out of a jam, down 3-0. He's already surrendered 6 hits through 2 innings, and we're in the third with no outs as Jasek checks on the runner at first and got him. And that's the way to get out of a possible jam. Matt Jasek picks off Rock Riggio, who is leaning off of first, and there's 1 away.
And we'll see if the momentum shifts on that one. Fabian still playing right up on the grass at third base. And if it's grounded towards him, I think the Gateman will love that, to just try to keep Brown from scoring from third. And with 1 out, it's crucial.
Cooper Engel shows bunt off to the right side. Roden will go for the sure out and tag out Cooper Engel, who just stood there like a statue, knowing that his job was to score the lead runner Marcus Brown, and he did so, and it's 4-0 Anglers in the top of the third, but now 2 away.
And Cooper Engel there was so smart by not running to first base, meaning not running right into Roden, because if he did so, he doesn't have eyes on Marcus Brown, so he's just trying to make it really as slow as possible, so he makes sure Brown scores there.
Cooper Engel, such a smart player, the designated hitter on this team. He's a top player at Clemson in the spring. He's brought over that veteran experience to Chatham. Caden Grice is up. He had a double back in the second and takes a ball in the dirt. A player in Caden Grice, if you're watching on your screen right now, you might ask, oh, that's a big boy. Yeah, 6'6" is the Clemson Tiger. 1-1. Grice fouls it back.
And this is the best case scenario for Jasek. Had runners on the corners with nobody out, but picked off Riggio at first for the first one. And then a little bunt that scored Brown. You got 2 away and ahead of Carter Grice here, who hit a double that started off that 3-run rally back in the second.
Grice once again spoils one off. That one out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count, 2 away in the top of the third. 4-0, the Anglers lead the Gateman. Chatham with 6 hits, Wareham with just 1, and Matt Jasek looking to get out of this third. Here's the 1-2. Blake Rice, slow roller right side. Roden picks it up, takes to the bag himself, and we head to the bottom of the third. The Chatham Anglers scratch across one more, and it's 4-0. The Anglers have come on the road, and right now they're playing their best baseball. We'll see if Wareham can respond in the home half of the third. You're watching Wareham Gateman Baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network. Want your daily dose of news? Lucky for you, Wareham, Sipicon, and now Dartmouth Week has you covered. Whether you live in Wareham or in the surrounding areas, you can count on up-to-date news on sports, schools, and even the fine arts, courtesy of the partnership between Wareham, Sipicon, and Dartmouth Week. Head to theweektoday.com and search Wareham, Sipicon, or Dartmouth for more. We're back at Spillane Field in Wareham, Massachusetts. The Anglers lead the Gatemen 4-0, and we'll send it down to the third member of our team, Claire Foley, who's with a special guest, Blake Wright. Claire?
Thanks, guys. Yes, here with Blake Wright. And for those who don't know, yesterday the whole Cape League went to Fenway Park for a scouted workout. Now, Blake, here you had a particularly positive experience. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, no, I thought it was incredible. It's something you definitely don't get to do every day, and I definitely try to take it all in. Obviously, all of us, just standing out there at shortstop, looking around, realizing, who's played there before, stepping in that box, and just looking at the monsters. Definitely one of the coolest things I've ever done in baseball, for sure.
I don't think we have a pitch coming, so we should probably get out of the way, but thanks, Blake. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, Claire. And yeah, Blake Wright mentioning that Fenway Day. What a cool experience for all these players. The first pitch to Brian Padilla is a breaking ball outside. Fenway Day was yesterday, an off day for the Gatemen that separated quite the stretch for Wareham, and today, as Brian Padilla's hit on that pitch on the forearm, he'll head over to first to a leadoff base runner. Maybe Blake Wright and Claire Foley down there providing some luck for this Gateman team that hasn't gotten a lot of it. Time is called at the plate. We apologize for any technical difficulties that we're facing in the booth. As Chatham's pitching coach jogs out there to talk it over with Nicholas Regalado after hitting Brian Padilla and now working a 2-0 count to Derek Fabian out of Florida. And this is where the Gateman offense can really get it going in the past 8-game stretch. Wareham is batting close to 250. That would be number one in the league in terms of team batting average. Right now the Gatemen are third in the league with a 231 batting average. So this offense, it don't slack off, especially in this past week and a half. And that's why Regalado gets a talking to. A 2-0 pitch. Another ball. That's 4 straight balls thrown by Nicholas Regalado. Now he's behind the count 3-0 to Fabian. 3-0 delivery outside, and although Nicholas Regalado looked really good through the first 2 innings, in part thanks to his defense as well, in this third, the Gatemen have put 2 on, which is the most they've had on the base paths at a single time. It brings up Peter Burns in the 9-hole.
A Gateman offense, only 1 hit tonight. But in a big spot right here, you got first and second with nobody out, down by 4 in just the 3rd inning. You got to score some runs here.
Peter Burns out of Boston College will watch the first pitch outside. Nicholas Regalado has lost a whole lot of his command. Now he's thrown 6 straight balls.
And if you're a Gateman hitter, you have to realize
really the command issues from Regalado here, and you better be patient at the plate. You can't be swinging after 6 balls in a row.
You know, Peter Burns is a veteran. He's a senior. See what he does here. 1-0 pitch. Right, he takes it, even though it might have been a juicy one to take, as it got that outer half. Peter Burns, a 156 hitter on the summer. This just his 14th game on the Cape, but he's been with this team all summer long. 1-1, rope to left center, falls for a base hit. Rounding third, coming home, Brian Padilla, and he'll score. The Gatemen grab their first run of the game, and it's 4-1 Chatham now. And Wareham still threatening as the top of the order is due up.
Burnsy went the other way and got the base knock, and that was crucial. Got Padilla to score. And now you bring up the crucial top of this lineup in the Gateman. That's really been the most successful piece of the big win streak that they went on last week to get them back in the playoff hunt.
Chase Davis stands in. Yeah, you're right. He was a big part of getting the Gatemen back on track. His team won 3 straight a week ago. They've won 5 of their last 8. Breaking ball delivered up high. For a Gateman team that looked dead in the dumps, Alex, they were 6-11-1. Then all of a sudden turned things around and looked like one of the hottest teams on the Cape right now. 2 on and no outs. 1-0 pitch. Fastball in the dirt. So Regalado hits Brian Padilla, walks Derek Fabian in 4 pitches, goes on to throw just 1 strike to Peter Burns and gives up an RBI single and is behind the count 2-0 to Chase Davis.
There is some movement in the A's pen.
I mean, out of the 10 pitches of the last 10 he's thrown, 1 has been a strike. And Chase Davis already had a single in the first. 1 of 2 hits for the Gatemen today. Looks to capitalize on the loss of command from Regalado. Still with no outs. Here's the pitch inside. Now the count 3-0. Gateman team that's top 3 in runs, hits, batting average. Also top half in the Cape in walks as well. Davis now showing bunt. Will pull back. Strike called.
And it was a high strike call. That's the reason why Davis pulled back. He thought it was going to be ball 4. That's a guy you got to love showing bunt there. Because you're thinking 3-0 fastball right down the plate just to get a strike in there so you don't work another walk with nobody out.
3-1 delivery, dots the outside corner, now count full. And in that situation, is that just Chase Davis showing Regalado a different look, or was he actually looking to lay down a bunt?
No, he was looking to lay down a bunt there. 3-0, you're thinking fastball right down the middle. Daly at third playing back, and Davis is confident with his speed to really beat out any throw. And
pitch upstairs. Davis also patient at the plate on a payoff pitch. Now the base is loaded up. Still no outs, and you wonder when Chatham might bring in another arm. Because Nicholas Regalado, after 2 strong, is really struggling in the third. Hit by pitch, walk, RBI single, walk. No outs in the bottom of the third in a 4-1 ball game in favor of Chatham. Pitch to Hogan Windish is a strike, and good sight to see for Anglers fans. Regalado finds the strike zone up against a dangerous hitter. 28 hits on the summer. Hogan Windish, slow dribbler to the right side. It's scooped up. Riggio over to second for 1. Brown doesn't have a play over to first, and a run comes in to score. The Gatemen now only trail by 2, and they still got 2 on. One thing Hogan Windish does, if it's not a base knock, which most times it is, it's very productive at-bats.
And here's Max Anderson, one of the best hitters as of late in this offense, was hitting 170 2 weeks ago. And he's just been phenomenal, had the big hit streak, and now coming in tonight hitting 277.
Alex, during that 13-game hit streak, he was batting .404. 1-0, swing and a miss off speed from Regalado. Had that hitless day against Falmouth that brought that streak to an end, but a player that started in the cellar and has been lifted up to 28 hits, which ties Hogan Windish for the team lead. He's been so good. 1-1 hard hit up the middle and through. Coming in to score, Peter Burns. Advancing to second is Hogan Windish. And that's 3 straight runs for the Wareham Gateman, all here in the bottom of the third. And Wareham has new life.
This has really been the Gateman team all summer long. I mean, yeah, their record at one point in time was 6-11, but they've been a great team no matter what their record has been. Always in every single game, and this is a team that never dies and shows that. Down 4-0, came back and already 3 runs scored.
All in a frame as well. Diodati stands in. Owen Diodati played his first couple of years of college ball at Alabama, is now heading to Oregon in the fall. 2 on, 1 away. The Gatemen now trail by just 1. Diodati, the lefty, takes the pitch low. And when Diodati struck out to open up the second. 1-1, little wave at it, ball gets away from Travinsky. Both runners advance into scoring position. And now the Gatemen have the tying run 90 feet away and the go-ahead run in scoring position in Max Anderson at second.
Well, and that's not only so crucial to put both runners in scoring position, but you eliminate the double play there. We're just 1 out.
Pitch to Diodati, low and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Diodati, who played 36 games for the Gatemen last summer. He's only won for his last 6, though. 2-2. Breaking ball fouled back. Good catch from Alan Roden in the on-deck circle. Took that one off a hop. Regalado in a jam with 2 in scoring position and 1 away. Tim Carey, the home plate umpire, calls time. Two. Lefty Diodati takes outside pitch. And now, count moves full. There is an open base at first. The payoff pitch. Up high, Diodati's at first. It's the 3rd walk drawn by the Wareham Gatemen in this 3rd alone. Now you just look over to the bullpen for the Chatham Anglers. There is a lefty warming up. You wonder when his time will come, and now it will. As Nicholas Regalado's day will end, and the lefty comes out of the pen, and he'll have to face a tough position as well. With only 1 away in the bottom of the 3rd, the Anglers now nursing just a 1-run lead with the bases juiced. We'll take a quick break and talk about who the new pitcher is for the Chatham Anglers after this. We're still in the bottom of the 3rd on the Gateman Broadcast Network. If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP, have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights. Be prepared and contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham and 2318 Acushnet Avenue in New Bedford. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website, www.rkm-law.com.
Whether it's life insurance to safeguard your loved ones, an umbrella policy to protect your teen driver, or making sure your home is covered from storm damage, Rogers Gray is there to guide you. Insurance is more than just a box to check. Trust Rogers Gray. a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Well, welcome back to Wareham. We got a pitching change here in the bottom of the third for Chatham as the bases are loaded. New pitcher Carlos Rayel, left-hander out of Nova Southeastern, making his 5th appearance on this summer, has a 5.06 ERA and 10 2/3 innings pitched, 9 hits, 6 runs, all earned, 8 walks, and 12 strikeouts.
Also, the best friend growing up of Nicholas Regalado. So who else would you want to turn to in a jam like this when you are inheriting all the runners than your best friend from back home? As Carlos Ray is on the mound, the lefty, dealing with Alan Roden out of the 5-hole. First pitch misses way outside to a player in Ray that had a 1.40 ERA in 51 1/3 innings of work. Wow. They gave up 8 earned runs in over 50 innings of action. So Ray gets set to deal to Alan Roden out of Creighton. Swing and a miss, ball gets away. Coming home, Hogan Windish, the throw much in time, and the tag applied. So Windish a bit too antsy on a ball that just got away from Travinsky, and now there's 2 away, but both runners advance. Now still 2 in scoring position, but an empty base at first.
An aggressive play just didn't go the Gateman way there.
And Hogan Windish not known for his speed on the base paths, but the ball did get away from Travinsky, and I think Hogan had the best look at it at third, but throw right in time to get to Ray, who applied the tag. Still 2 in scoring position with runners at second and third, but now 2 away. 1-1 to Roden, low. Alan Roden out of Creighton led the Blue Jays in batting average in the spring at .387. Set to be eligible, be drafted in a week time. The lefties delivering to a lefty. 2-1 pitch. Another heater low. Just as Regalado was dealing with a bit of a command issue, Ray seems to have inherited that. Now he's behind the count 3-1. You don't want to be behind the count to Alan Roden, who's batting .240 on the summer. Did not play a couple days ago, but had a stretch this season where he was batting .320 through 8 games. Has some pop in that bat. 3-1. Heater low, and that base gets filled by the feet of Alan Roden, and now the base is reloaded. Now it's time for Carter Graham, who steps in after striking out to end the second. Also had to look over at second base as Alan Roden was thrown out trying to swipe second base.
Graham arguably had his best game 2 nights ago against Falmouth, 2 for 4 in that game.
Graham fouls it back, his second multi-hit performance of the season. Only in his 11th game on the Cape. You're right, when he can be a staple on the offensive side, oh, his team's dangerous. So Carter Graham out of Stanford is the righty. The base is loaded and 2 away. The 0-1. Called strike, inner half. Carter Graham can't believe it. It was a bit low, maybe a bit inside as well. Home plate umpire Tim Carey calls it a strike, and now Carter Graham is staring down the barrel. An 0-2 count. The delivery. Breaking ball, slow roller left side. Picked up Daly over to second in time to get Alan Roden, who slid into second. Oh, a close call over there at the bag. But that retires the side. Carlos Ray steps in and has his best friends back in Nicholas Regalado. And Wareham only scratches across 3, but what a big frame for a player in Matt Jasek, who's heading out on the mound now with his team down by just 1. We're through 3. It's a 4-3 lead for the Chatham Anglers as we head to the top of the 4th in a 1-run game on the Gateman Broadcast Network. Continuing with our corporate sponsors, we also want to recognize and thank Franklin Sports, Cape Destinations, Sullivan Tire, Highline Cruises, Barnstable Bats, Sunderland Printing, Axis Bats, Cape Space, Christmas Tree Shops, UFOs, T-Mobile, Boston Better Business Bureau, Fairway Financial, Rogers Gray, and of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Gateman Baseball is officially sponsored by Robertson's GMC, the truck professionals. Located just 2 miles away on Cranberry Highway, Robertson's GMC, we are professional grade, power like a pro.
We venture into the top of the 4th in Wareham, Massachusetts at Spillane Field, home of the Wareham Gateman. Gorgeous day, 75 degrees. The wind has slowed down just a tad. It was up near 30 miles per hour earlier in the day. Matt Jasek out on the mound for his 4th inning of work, but it looks a little bit different on the scoreboard. Now with the Gateman trailing by just 1, being down by as many as 4. First pitch is a ball down low to Jake DeLeo, the righty, and the on-deck circles Matt Hogan and then Mitchell Daly right behind him. Jake DeLeo an RBI single in the 2nd to get the scoring started. There's a strike from Matt Jasek out of Indiana State. Went nearly 100 innings of work this past spring. He knows how to reset his mentality and get back on the bump. 1-1 breaking ball, Sky to shallow left center. Moving in Davis, he'll make the grab, and there's 1 away. Now, Alex, through the first 3 innings, it just really looked like Matt Jasek didn't have his stuff, and Chatham was taking advantage. But what have you liked most about what you've seen from him in the last couple of ABs and how he's able to reset himself?
Well, it's just that. You got to reset. You got to get back to really who you are as a pitcher, and you might realize that you don't have your best stuff. So you got to work around that and just find one pitch that you have tonight and work with that pitch and try to get outs, and he's doing so right here.
Seems to be the fastball. Here's the 1-0. And goes with it. Strike at the bottom of the zone to Matt Hogan, who laid down a bunt which scored a runner. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Jasek, another heater, dots that inside corner. Count 1-2. Matt Hogan out of South Carolina. Spent a couple of years at Vanderbilt. His 2nd year on the Cape. Played for the Anglers last summer. 1-2. Chopped foul. Hogan, a senior out of Melville, New York on Long Island. Didn't play that much for Vanderbilt in 3 seasons. Why he made the move. Hard hit, deep left field. Windish moves back, it's off the wall. Hogan heads to second. A stand-up double that just went off the sponsors out in deep left off the fence. Matt Hogan with his first hit of the day.
Yeah, that one might have been a product of the wind getting that one just kind of caught up in the jet stream there, and that's especially what you're looking for and why you really want to focus. If you're a pitcher, you got to get the ground balls. Anything outside the infield could be trouble tonight.
7 hits for the Chatham Anglers already. Jasek gets set to deal to Mitchell Daly out of Texas, who had a sacrifice fly back in the 2nd. Swings at the first pitch, looper to left, it'll fall. Getting the wave and coming home is Matt Hogan. The throw way offline, but thrown over to first is Peter Burns. Sliding back safely is Mitchell Daly. That's an RBI knock for Mitchell Daly, another RBI on his day, and it's 5-3 Anglers.
For whatever reason, this Chatham team seems to have the Gateman's number this season. They took the first 2 games and had those big hits.
That'll be the day for Matt Jasek, seems. Harvey Shapiro heading out to the bump. Now, usually this means that the starting pitcher's day is done. We all know Harvey Shapiro coached Jasek last summer. That might not be the case, but as assumed, it is. Matt Jasek heads off to the dugout. He's allowed 5 runs, all earned, 8 hits, and he'll scurry back. Still has a runner at first, and we'll see who comes out of the bullpen for the Wareham Gatemen. We're still in the top of the 4th, and the Anglers have grown their lead to 2. We'll be back for more Wareham Gateman baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
What's up, Gateman fans? Looking for Wareham jerseys, shirts, and hats? You can find all of that and more online at gateman.org/shop. Visit to get all your Gateman gear today.
Hey Gateman fans, don't miss out as the Wareham Gatemen head to Worcester, Mass. to take on the Bourne Braves at Polar Park, the home of the Worcester Red Sox. This special game at Polar Park takes place Monday, July 25th with a 6:45 first pitch. Tickets start at just $10, so head to gateman.org to get yours today.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's back. The 2022 Cape Cod Baseball League All-Star Game, presented by Milton Cat and hosted by the Wareham Gatemen, is back after a 2-year hiatus. The game will be played at Spillane Field, home of the Gatemen, on Saturday, July 23rd, 2022, at 7 Viking Drive, Wareham, Massachusetts. Gates open at 2 p.m., autograph sessions from 2:40 to 4:50 p.m., the home run hitting contest at 5 p.m., and game time is set for 6:05 p.m. For your safety, no coolers, backpacks, or other large bags of any kind will be allowed into the game. There will be several different concessions available for food, drinks, and other delights. Tickets are $5 per person and are on sale today at the concession stand or online at www.gateman.org. We look forward to seeing you all there. We're back at Spillane Field in Wareham, Massachusetts with Alex Feuz. I'm Cameron Ezeir. The Chatham Anglers lead the Wareham Gatemen 5-3. We're in the top of the 4th, and the day is done for Matt Jasek. He turns it over to a new pitcher on the bump for the Gatemen in Vanderbilt's Grayson Moore.
Moore making his 4th appearance on the summer, has started in just 1 game. He's pitching 7 2/3 this summer, just 7 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 8 Ks. And this is a pitcher just really trying to just bring back the command on the mound and shut down this offense that's really hit 8 hits tonight, and they scored 5 runs.
It's a Chatham team that ranks bottom of the league in hits and runs. They average around 3 runs per game, 6 hits per game. They've already eclipsed both of those, and we're only in the 4th. Moore will deal with Hayden Travinsky. Good stop from Peter Burns. The ball in the dirt from Grayson Moore. Still a runner at first. Matt Jasek is responsible for Mitchell Daly on the base paths. Travinsky a solo home run in the 2nd. That was to make it 3-0 at the end of 2. Another ball outside from Grayson Moore, and it just seems like his offense is waiting to blossom after scoring 3 in the 3rd. You can just feel that this game could be a big offensive night, but his pitching staff has to do a whole lot better in allowing the offense to stay in it. It's popped out of play.
You had a sense that this was going to be an offensive night just with the wind conditions. This is the worst weather conditions, quote-unquote, that we've seen this summer. It's a nice day, but a windy one. Not a great day to be a pitcher.
2 balls, 1 strike the count. Runner goes, fastball that misses the tag there in time. Well, if there's one thing you can hang your hat on, Peter Burns has been phenomenal behind the plate. Throws it over to Max Anderson, who covers the bag. And Mitchell Daly is out at second trying to steal.
2 outs now, and that's what you're looking for from Bernsey. Nobody runs on him.
3-1 fastball jammed in on the hands, popped up foul territory. Fabian makes the grab, drifting a little over to his right, and that's the 3rd out of the frame. So we head to the bottom of the 4th as Grayson Moore does his job, thanks to Peter Burns behind the plate. And through 3.5, the Anglers lead 5-3. We'll see if the Gatemen can replicate what they did in the 3rd when we come back on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
The Gateman would like to thank Wareham Country Market for helping to feed the Gateman players and staff after games. They are located about a quarter of a mile from the field on Route 6, offering a convenience store, a Dunkin' Donuts, and a deli.
Need physical therapy? Select Physical Therapy works directly with you and your physician to create a plan of care that meets your goals and needs, with 6 locations on Cape Cod and more across the country. Select Physical Therapy is the official provider of athletic training for the Wareham Gateman.
Wareham House of Pizza has been serving Wareham and Marion for over 40 years with steak and cheese, pizza, and subs. Located in Shaw's Plaza, head on over for pickup or let them deliver to you. After the game, visit El Mariachi on Main Street for the best Mexican food in Wareham. The cantina provides a delicious late-night snack accompanied by fun cocktails.
We're in the bottom of the 4th at Spillane Field, a 5-3 Anglers lead over the Gatemen. Beautiful day, with the wind still blowing aplenty here at Spillane, which will affect both the pitchers and the hitters. Maybe the hitters more than the pitchers in a positive way. Already 11 hits combined between these two teams. The lefty Ray deals to the righty Brian Padilla out of UConn. Brian Padilla at short for the Wareham Gatemen, and he's going to take a ball outside. Padilla batting out of the 7-hole for a Gateman team that brought 9 to the plate in the 3rd. So Padilla was hit by a pitch to lead off that big 3rd inning in which Wareham scored 3 runs. Carlos Ray down in the count 3-0 out of Nova Southwestern. Just gets the inside corner, and although Jack Rubenstein, who's the new catcher for the Chatham Anglers, dropped it, Tim Carey, the home plate umpire, still calls it a strike. So Rubenstein's in for Travinsky, the home run hitter. 3-0 upstairs and outside. Brian Padilla gets a free pass, but a little less pain on this free pass over to first. After being hit by a pitch, Padilla walks on 5 pitches.
The 6th walk tonight by the A's pitching staff. Just in the 4th inning.
Wow, and that's kept the Gatemen in it. You know, timely hitting as well, but Wareham only has 3 hits, and they have 3 runs to show for it. Derek Fabian stands in. He was walked back in the 3rd. One of 4 walks dealt out by Chatham Anglers back in the 3rd inning. Ray checks on Padilla at first. Now the wind heavily blowing from right to left as it was in the other direction just a couple moments ago. Wind speeds around 20 miles per hour. 0-1 to the righty Fabian. Takes it outside. Derek Fabian had a breakout hit in that win over Falmouth a couple days ago. Heading into an off day, he tied the game up at 2. The 2 RBI single and upped his RBI total from 1 to 3. Big spot for the Florida Gator, as is here with the Gateman down 2 and him representing the tying run.
And Fabian is hitting .454 against left-handers, and Ray obviously a lefty, so Fabian 5 for 11 this summer so far.
He's had the upper hand on left-handed pitching. 2-1 almost gets the upper hand of Derek Fabian. The count 3-1. Carlos Ray has thrown 9 pitches in this fourth, 7 of them for balls. Three-one. Swing and a miss. Off speed. And count full. The wind really rolling in now as the dirt in front of home plate sifts into the air. Runner at first, no outs. The bottom of the fourth. Here's the payoff. Inside, almost hits the foot of Fabian. He'll head over to first. Now Brian Padilla and Derek Fabian are almost spearheading this merry-go-round because they reached on different kinds of free passes. Padilla hit by pitch, Fabian a walk back in the third, but then both of them here in the fourth will lead off the frame with a pair of walks. And now that's 7 walks delivered from this Chatham Anglers pitching staff between Regalado, the starter, and Carlos Ray out of the bullpen.
And Burns in a big spot, had a base hit and RBI last time up, and with a tying run on first base, down by 2, only in the 4th inning, you're just looking to really continue this, no-out rally.
Burns out of Boston College, already an RBI, will show bunt at a pitch that misses high. And now to provide some insight behind his pitching staff's struggles, not just this season, but today as well. You have the most walks on the Cape, tied for the most with Bourne at 105 through 26 games. But after 7 today, they've taken that lead. As Burns pulls back, and it's a strike from Ray. So they're not shying away from the theme that's plagued him all season, which is an abundant amount of walks from any pitcher on the bump. Wareham has taken advantage. The tying runs at first here in the 4th.
Burns definitely looking to bunt here. I mean, if he gets a pitch that he likes, that he can really drop it down. On the one strike call earlier, Burns didn't agree with it. Had a conversation with the home plate umpire and Tim Carey about where that was.
2 balls, 1 strike, the count. The pitch. Pulls back. Good movement. It got that outside corner, which forced Burnsy to pull back. Now the count 2-2. So we'll see the swing of Peter Burns, which led to an RBI single back in the 3rd. He's in a similar position with 2 on and no outs. Big spot for the Boston College lefty. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Burns, slow looper, shallow center, it'll fall. Base hit for Peter Burns, and now the base is loaded. No outs in the bottom of the 4th. That one hung up there for a while. Rock Riggio, the second baseman, moved back. Talked a lot about the conditions. At first off the bat, it looked like it was going right into the glove of Riggio, but it carried in the jet stream once again and fell for a base hit.
That's exactly what you're looking for, and in these conditions, in a non-windy day like tonight, it would probably be an out. And with Chase Davis at the plate, singled and walk in the 3rd, it's a big one. Tying run at second base.
Peter Burns entered this game with 5 hits. He already has 2 in 2 ABs. Chase Davis at the plate, the lefty, like you mentioned, takes the ball outside. A single in the 1st, a walk in the 3rd for the Arizona Wildcat. The Gatemen are trailing 5-3. 1-0 heater got the outside corner. We've talked about it all season long, Alex. Against left-handed pitchers, this Gateman team batting under the Mendoza line at 187. Against righties, 245. But right now, the Gateman not struggling against these 2 lefties. 1-1 big hack at count 1-2. The base is loaded. If we want to really dive into the statistics, the Gatemen are batting .230 with 9 hits. The 3rd time today, the Gatemen have had the bases loaded, and we're only in the bottom of the 4th. count is 2-2 to Chase Davis. He's been the spark plug for this team. Many would credit this turnaround to Chase Davis, even Owen Diodati out of the cleanup spot. Once these two arrive, this Gateman team has been red hot. Bases loaded, no outs. Down by 2. Swing and a miss. First strikeout for Carlos Ray to go along with a myriad of walks. Davis goes down swinging. Still only 1 out for probably the most dangerous hitter in this lineup in Hogan Windish. The pitching coach heads out for the Chatham Anglers. And there'll be a pitching change. The Anglers will take the ball away from Carlos Ray, and we'll see who the new arm is out of the pen. We're still in the bottom of the 4th. It's a 5-3 Anglers lead, but the Gatemen, well, they had the bases loaded with only 1 away for the most dangerous hitter in this lineup. We'll be back for more Wareham Gateman baseball on the other side on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Gateman Baseball is officially sponsored by Robertson's GMC, the truck professionals. Located just 2 miles away on Cranberry Highway, Robertson's GMC, we are professional grade, power like a pro.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, including new majors in environmental science, sport and recreation management, graphic design, marketing, and computer science. Online at curry.edu.
Catchers aren't the only ones protecting home. With Rogers Gray, you have more coastal homeowners insurance options and a true expertise in their people. Protect your home with Rogers Gray. Rogers Gray is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Learn more at rogersgray.com.
Looking for a turnkey rental experience on the Cape? Gibson Sotheby's International Realty has a dedicated team of rental professionals ready to provide homeowners and guests with exceptional service. For Cape Cod rentals, nothing compares. Each office is independently owned and operated. Sotheby's International Realty is a registered trademark.
Is this Jurassic Park or is it Spillane Field? I promise you, it's Spillane Field in Wareham, Massachusetts. None of the fans out there in the bleachers are in any danger, but I will say Halloween, that's still in a couple of months. Alongside Alex Feuz, I'm Cameron Ezeir. The Chatham Anglers still holding on to a 5-3 lead. Bases are loaded up for the Gateman. New pitcher on for the Anglers.
Yeah, LeBaron Johnson, a right-hander from Austin, from University of Texas Austin, from Jacksonville, Florida, making his second appearance on the season, a 9 ERA. He's only appeared in 1 inning, 1 hit, a run, no walks, but 1 K.
Put in a really tough spot. Coming out of the pen, first right-handed pitcher we've seen today for Chatham to deal with Hogan Windish with the bases loaded. Take the first pitch as a heater low. Hogan Windish, I'm going to label the most consistent hitter in this lineup. It has to be the man out of UNC Greensboro. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Count 1-1. Hogan Windish, the SoCon Player of the Year in the spring. Best in the conference and a guy that's dominated the Cape League. 298 average, 28 hits. That's tied for the team lead. 1-1. LeBaron Johnson out of UT Austin relies on that fastball. It's that downward motion, which is large part thanks to his height on the mound at 6'5". 2-1, hack and a miss. So the count 2-2 to Hogan Windish. Second on the Cape in runs batted in with 17. Well, he has a chance to drive in 3. The bases loaded, only 1 away in the bottom of the 4th. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count with 1 away. LeBaron Johnson the delivery. Heater low. been quite the wacky couple innings. The Gatemen have forced 6 walks over the last 2 frames. There's only 1 away in the bottom of the 4th. The 3 on base, courtesy of 2 walks and a single. The payoff. Windish connects, high fly ball, shallow left center, moving over. Garibay Jr. makes the grab, tagging up, coming home, and scoring easily. It's Brian Padilla. Chatham elected to throw it over to second to make sure that Derek Fabian didn't tag up. Brian Padilla scores because of it. Sacrifice fly for Hogan Windish. And now that's Windish's 2nd RBI, and none have come off hits. And it's a 5-4 lead for the Anglers.
Hey, if you're Hogan Windish, you're okay with that. You're putting together quality ABs and doing a job, and that's what's so crucial in this game.
Now 19 RBIs on the season for Hogan Windish. That's tied for the Cape League. Turns it over to Max Anderson, who among active players is tied for the hit lead in the league. 28. That crown was to Brooks Baldwin, but he just had his last week at Katuitt. 1-0 heater bounces right in front of the plate. Good stop from Jack Rubenstein. We mentioned it to start this frame. Jack Rubenstein, the new catcher in after the Chatham Anglers took out Hayden Travinsky. 1-run deficit for the Gatemen with runners at first and second. 2-0. Anderson struck out in the first, an RBI single in the third. There is a base open at third. LeBaron Johnson takes a step off the rubber. Max Anderson out of Nebraska. Johnson readies the 3-0. Inside, but called a strike. As Tim Carey says it got a bit of the zones. Now the count 3-1 to the former Big Ten Freshman of the Year. The righty delivery. That one will for sure miss. Max Anderson heads over to first. The base is reloaded for the Gatemen. And Owen Diodati, who broke out on the scene in his first couple of games, has 7 hits on the summer, and this just his 7th Cape game. He went 6 for 13 in his first 3 games on the Cape.
Provided that immediate impact that was needed at that time, and in a big spot right here. We're going to get going again.
Johnson looks to be attacking that bottom of the zone, only finding it sparsely. It's good news for a Gateman team that's now drawn 8 walks. A reminder, we're through just 3.5 innings. Another ball low.
Oh, a walk here would tie the game. Oh, Diodati going to be patient at the plate. Only going to look for exactly what he's looking for.
Owen Diodati is yet to walk this summer. It's the perfect spot to draw number 1. 2-0. Now the count 3-0. So you take out Carlos Ray to hand the ball over to LeBaron Johnson Jr., and he struggled to find the strike zone too. Bases loaded, 3-0 pitch. Down the pipe. Can hear some chatters from the Chatham dugout saying 3 in a row. Alluding to throwing 3 strikes in a row, which would retire Diodati. Owen, chop to the right side. Marcus Brown flips it over, and that'll end the bottom of the 4th. So through 4, it's 5-4 Anglers over the Gatemen. In the last 2 innings, both teams have scratched across runs. Chatham just 1 more. As we head to the top of the 5th, we'll be back for more Wareham Gateman baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be a long-standing supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League and its contribution to the local economy as a treasured summer attraction. Cape Cod 5 is a community bank serving customers throughout Cape Cod, the islands, and southeastern Massachusetts. Founded in 1855, the bank's mission is to enrich the lives of those it serves while contributing to the health and vitality of its communities. Cape Cod 5 provides a full range of banking solutions, including personal and business banking, residential mortgages, investment management, and trust services.
Beat the heat and join us at Waterways, a water experience unlike any other this side of the bridge. Open daily, head over to the water park on Route 28, the Cranberry Highway.
We're on the top of the fifth at Spillane. The Gateman trail the Anglers 5-4. Alongside Alex Feuz, I'm Cameron Ezeir. Matt Jasek started this game for the Gateman, but was replaced by Grayson Moore back in the fourth. And the Vandy boy is out there for the top half of the fifth, now with his team trailing by just one. The resilience of this team is in full effect in today's game. Down 3-0. Down 4-0, and this Gateman team has shown time and time again that they're just never out of any ball games.
And that's what you're looking for, right? I mean, you lost twice against this Chatham A's team, and in both fashions in a close game, and in just 7-inning ball games, obviously a doubleheader, only plays 7. Chatham got the best of them both times. Trying to fight back, and it's really been a back-and-forth battle all night long.
More to face the top of the order. Guy Garibay takes a strike on the outside corner. So Guy Garibay Jr., a strikeout in the first, grounded out to the first baseman Roden back in the second. Heater from Moore, misses the plate. Grayson Moore, 16 appearances, including 1 start for the Vanderbilt Commodores in the spring. A 1-1 record on 26 2/3 innings of work. At a 5.06 ERA this past spring for a Vanderbilt team that didn't really reach expectations for a group that's known to not just make the Super Regionals, but the College World Series final. 2-1. Garibay on the ground left side. Padilla scoops up over to first, 1 away. That's what you got to do if you're Grayson Moore. We've talked about it time and time again. Keep the ball on the ground. Don't allow the wind to create any frenzies here at Spillane.
It's been a wild game already through 5 innings, and Moore is doing his job. Came into this game, settled right back down, and cooled off this offense.
He entered with only 1 away in the fourth. Peter Burns picked off Mitchell Daly swiping second, and then Moore forced a pop-up into foul territory. And now ground out of Guy Garibay, turns it over to Marcus Brown, who's now in a 1-0 count. Brown, a .225 hitter coming into this game out of Oklahoma State. 1-0 pitch, misses the zone. Marcus Brown, 2 for 2 on the day. Also scored a run. The 2-0. Brown with a pair of singles already. With 1 away, the 3-0 pitch. It's a strike. The righty Moore deals to the lefty Brown. Another strike, and that's where Grayson Moore makes his money on that outer half. And now the count full after it started 3-0.
Take what you're looking for. You want to see a battle. Whoever you have on the mound, and Moore does that.
Breaking ball just misses inside. Marcus Brown is on base for the 3rd time today, the first via a walk. Marcus Brown has been so good for this team. Back-to-back multi-hit games, now make it 3 straight 2-hit games. Also patient at the dish. He draws his 7th walk of the summer, which gives way to his collegiate teammate Rock Riggio, who also has a base hit. That was back in the 3rd. Riggio, the lefty, swings at the first pitch, fouls it back. Ball hits off the fencing. So a pair of Oklahoma State Cowboys, one in Riggio at the dish. He just wrapped up his freshman season while his collegiate teammate at first is heading into his junior year. Oh, 1. Off speed, called for a strike. Grayson Moore was down in the count 3-0 to Marcus Brown. He's ahead of the count 0-2 to Rock Riggio. Little flip of fortunes. Ball misses low and inside. Marcus Brown over at first, a little hop in his step, and that's why Peter Burns leaped up out of his stance. For a player in Marcus Brown that has 5 stolen bases on the season, gotta watch out for the Oklahoma State product at first.
You got to be careful trying any stolen bases with Peter Burns behind the plate.
Tip foul into the glove of Burns. That's a strikeout. Grayson Moore picks up his first K. Great job by Peter Burns to hold on to that baseball after it nicked the bat of Rock Riggio.
That's a 9th strikeout of the season by Moore, and that's really been a big pitch. The change-up route to get Riggio to foul right back to Burns behind the plate for a big out number 2.
It's a guy that's known for throwing a lot of strikes. Off speed again, goes with the low-level velocity to get a strike called on Cooper Engel, the rising junior out of Clemson. So player in Grayson Moore threw 65% strikes this past spring for the Commodores. Oh, just missed the strike zone there to a player in Cooper Engel that completely revitalized his collegiate career in just one season. In 2021, an .063 average. 2022, .351 for the Tigers. That's nearly a 300-point jump. 1-1, Brown goes, it's inside, the throw from Burns. Padilla tags him, he's safe. Well, Padilla's looking down at second and then up at the umpire, Jeff Kinney, wondering, I don't think he was safe. No, but Marcus Brown is going to stay at second, and Tim Perry is now yelling over at Harvey Shapiro in the dugout. Shapiro and the rest of that dugout can't believe it.
I don't think anyone in this ballpark could believe it.
Padilla got the tag in time, or the ball at least was there in time. And Marcus Brown is now still at second. That's his 6th stolen bag of the summer, but maybe shouldn't have been. Well, the home plate umpire is going to give Harvey Shapiro a warning. What a throw from Peter Burns. You're right, don't run on the Boston College catcher, and that's why, but Brown is safe. A very, very close call. Now a runner in scoring position with the Anglers up 1. The 2-1. Fastball chopped right to the pitcher Moore. Underhand flip over to Allen Roden. So that stolen base, non-stolen base won't matter. Grayson Moore closes out the inning himself, and we head to the bottom of the 5th. The Anglers still lead the Gateman 5-4, but Wareham has scored 4 in the last 2 frames. We'll be back for more Wareham Gateman baseball when we return on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing, from the baseball diamond to the many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So here's to 50 years of winning and 50 more.
We're back on the Gateman Broadcast Network. The Anglers lead the Gateman 5-4. We're going to send it down to the third member of our team, Claire Foley, as the Gatemen have really been patient all game long. Claire?
Yeah, that's right. I actually was thrilled by a ball, but somehow we're already a few games past the halfway point of the season with just 17 remaining after today. The Gatemen find themselves fourth in the division at 11-12-3, with Falmouth not far behind at 10-14-2. Now, two elements of their game that will be crucial for this Gateman team are their offensive resiliency and patience, and both were on display in the last 2 innings. Walks and runs to make it a one-run game. Now, we have 3 games against individual opponents, so those will be crucial to the Gatemen's playoff hopes.
Yeah, Claire, you're right. The Gateman team has been uber patient all year as Alan Roden takes a pitch, flies it out to center. DeLeo charges, makes the grab, one away. But what Claire was saying is patience and resiliency. A team that was 5th in the West Division and found their way well in 4th in the past week and a half because they've been so clinical at the plate and they've waited for the pitches they've wanted to hit. So far in this game, the Gatemen have drawn 8 walks, and a big reason why they're only down by 1 to the Anglers. As Carter Graham steps up to the plate out of Stamford. Pitches a fastball that dotted the outside corner for a player in Carter Graham. 0 for 2 on the day. Alan Roden in the previous AB is retired for the first time today. 0-1. Graham swings away at a breaking ball that tailed away from his bat. Oh, 2 pitch. Heater in the dirt. Carter Graham entered the season 0 for his first 12, then went 3 for 6 in a home-and-home with Bourne, in which it looked like his bat finally woke up. Followed it up with an 0 for 8 performance in his next 3 games, but had a 2 for 4 performance a couple games ago. It's the 1-2 pitch. Just seems like Graham is trying to find a stride. Maybe it's not there yet, but after that 2 for 4 performance a couple days ago, that could be just the game to get Carter Graham going.
He's working a good at bat here. In this game in offense, 8 walks, like you said, Cam, but I've only struck out 4 times. It's a patient offense.
2-2 fouled back, and we relate it back to game 1 of the doubleheader against Chatham 3 weeks ago, in which the Gatemen struck out 14 times and only walked twice. The big reason why they lost that game. This is the recipe, not for disaster, but for success for the Gatemen. 2-2, rope to left center. It'll fall and roll all the way to the warning track. Graham heads around first and trots his way into second. A double for Carter Graham, and hey, maybe that Falmouth game got his bat woken up. With 1 away in the bottom of the 5th, Carter Graham represents the tying run.
It's a big 1-out double that brings up Padilla, Fabian, and Burns, where all 6 times they've had plate appearances have reached.
The bottom of the order that's been uber efficient. Padilla takes the fastball inside, and it looks like LeBaron Johnson out of Texas, who is the second arm out of the pen for the Anglers, has developed more of a command here in the last couple pitches or so. 0-1. Low to Padilla, who was hit by a pitch in the 3rd, walked in the 4th, and you're right. This bottom of the order, drawn 3 walks. They're 2 for 2, both singles credited to Peter Burns, and a hit by pitch. Which is odd because this Gateman team, you're used to seeing names like Chase Davis, Hogan Windish, Max Anderson, and guys like Alan Roden, the offensive spark plugs, but it's been the bottom of the order. Padilla fouls it off, count 1-2. Lights are on at Spillane Field. The sun hid behind the clouds in the sky. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Johnson the delivery. Breaking ball, roped over the head of Marcus Brown, base hit. Carter Graham lugs over to 3rd. Runners at the corners, 1 away. The Gatemen are in business, and again, thanks to that bottom of the order.
This is Brian Padilla's day right here. A big one-out base hit. Now runners on the corners for Fabian. He's already walked twice.
Hit number 7 on the summer for Brian Padilla. Derek Fabian at the plate, you're right. Yet to record an official AB. Just a couple plate appearances on the 2 walks. He fouls pitch off to the right side in the count 0-1. Derek Fabian entered this game with 2 walks. He's been walked twice, and we're only in the 5th. Johnson looks up, the 0-1. Fastball, hard hit, deep right center field. Hogan moves back at the wall, makes the grab right into the wall, falls over, which allows Carter Graham to tag up and come home. This game all tied up. Now Derek Fabian probably wanted an extra base hit or maybe a home run as it carried in the jet stream, but he'll take the sacrifice fly in this game, all knotted up. After the Gatemen were down 4-0, it's a 5-5 ball game.
It's been the big moments in this game, and it's been the bottom half of this order that has really been the major factor from this 5-5 tied ball game.
Also mainly Peter Burns, who entered this game with just 5 hits through 13 games on the summer. He's a 2-for-2 day. Also with an RBI that was back in the 3rd. With 2 away, the pitch. Fastball high and away. As bottom of the order, Brian Padilla, Derek Fabian, Peter Burns. 7, 8, 9. None of them have been retired. Well, you can count Derek Fabian's sac fly as him being retired, but it brought home a run. I count that as a productive at-bat. 2-0. Fastball way outside. Now Peter Burns has a chance to draw the Gateman's 9th walk of the day. We're only through 4.5. Big 6'5" righty on the mound in LeBaron Johnson. 3-0. That's outside. Peter Burns peers in at 4 pitches, heads over to first. 9 walks for the Gatemen. Padilla over to second. His bottom of the order has drawn 5 of those walks. They've brought in 2 runs as well. We'll see if this bottom of the order success translates to the top of it in Chase Davis. A single in the 1st, walk in the 3rd, strikeout in the 4th. Two-out pitch. Fastball, strike down the middle. Brian Padilla at second. Peter Burns at first. A run already scratched across here in the 5th. Here's the 0-1. Fastball clips the bottom of the zone. Chase Davis in jeopardy of striking out in consecutive at-bats. Behind the count 0-2. A lefty out of Arizona. He has home run power. 18 homers in the spring, was 2nd in the conference. 2-on-2 away. 0-2.
Davis choking up here, just trying to do a job and continue this 5th inning. A base hit would most likely score Padilla to take the lead for the Gatemen.
Just replicate what you did in the 1st if you're Chase Davis. Takes the pitch inside. And the way that Chase Davis is reacting, that hit his foot. And yep, it did. Tim Carey, the home plate umpire, points over to first base to motion Davis to head over that way. Chase is hobbling it off. It's Harvey Shapiro, both the field manager and the 3rd base coach for this team, walking it out over to talk to Chase Davis. It's a fastball inside. Now head trainer heads out. You're just hoping that Chase Davis is okay. Someone that's been so good for this Gateman team. That's first priority. Putting little to no pressure on that left foot. and he'll walk off under his own power over to first. This Gateman team's been beaten up today. Brian Padilla was hit by a pitch in the third. Over the last week or so, you could probably count 12 to 15 hit batsmen this Gateman group. All this team has done is just shake it off and get back to business. Well, Davis is going to stay at first. The base is loaded and 2 away for Hogan Windish. Wow, what a warrior in Chase Davis. Wants the best for his team. The definition of a we guy, not a me guy. We hope he's okay over at first, and seems to be that way. First pitch to Windish. It's cut on and fouled off to the right side. On a windy and wacky day at Spillane. 5-5 between Chatham and Wareham. Windish at the dish. 0-1. Hogan cuts on and misses it, a fastball low. This 5th inning has featured a flyout, then a double, single, sacrifice fly, walk, hit by pitch. Really seen it all. See if Hogan Windish can add more dramatics. 0-2. Check swing once again. It's one that Hogan Windish probably wants back, but it went off the tip of his lumbar. Hogan Windish, 3 separate streaks of 6 games with at least 1 hit. 0-2. High chopper foul. And I mention that because the consistency of Hogan Windish is unlike any player on this roster. From day one, Windish has been swinging the bat with such efficiency.
He's been at 300 almost all year long.
I think the lowest he's dipped is 287, which in this day and age is a fantastic batting average. Righty on righty. 0-2. Called strike 3. Hogan Windish goes down looking. The base is stranded, but the Gatemen do tie it up for a team that was once down 4-0. It's a 5-5 ball game through 5. We head to the top of the 6th in a whole new game. It's the Gatemen and the Anglers on the Gateman Broadcast Network, with 2 teams trying to vie for a playoff spot, and both are neck and neck. We head to the top of the 6th, with the Anglers and the Gatemen tied up at 5.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. Cape Cod to the major leagues. Only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for over 30 years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
Whether a night at the tap room for pub grub, dinner for the family, or a full-service catered event, Minkle Boys Catering. Food with passion. Book your event today. We're on the top of the 6th at Spillane Field with Alex Feuz. I'm Cameron Ezeir. Grayson Moore has done his best on the mound, and his best is what the Gatemen have needed. After Matt Jasek was tossed around in the first couple innings, Grayson Moore has been out on the bump, and he's allowed Wareham to tie this one up on the offensive side. It's now his job in the top of the sixth to keep it at a 5-5 ball game as he deals to Caden Grice, the lefty, in the 5-hole. Clemson Tiger takes a big cut at the first pitch, and the count 0-1.
Carter Grice obviously struggled with the strikeouts this summer, so if you are Grayson Moore, you want to get as far as that on Grice to just try to battle through and get a strikeout here.
Yeah, Grice, 36 strikeouts on the summer. Today, a double and a ground out. And it's a player in Caden Grice, has 14 multi-strikeout games. Here's the 0-2. And there's a K. Grice didn't even know what he was doing up there at the plate as he let his bat go, and that's K number 37 on Caden Grice, and Grayson Moore, a much-needed strikeout to open up the frame.
Moore's second strikeout tonight. He's looked phenomenal on the mound.
I'd argue he's looked phenomenal all season. You bring up names like Cameron Weston, even guys like Jonathan Brand, who are no longer with the team. They've set the blueprint for this pitching staff. Great sweeping breaking ball called strike to Jake DeLeo. Now Morris to deal with the best hitter on this staff. RBI single in the second, fly out in the fourth. Fastball cut on and missed. Grayson Moore has thrown 5 pitches, all strikes. It's a chance to strike out Jake DeLeo, and that's no easy task. For a player in DeLeo, it's a .284 average. 0-2 pitch. Fouled off of DeLeo, and the count stays 0-2. Jake has hit in 5 straight games. He's played in every game since arriving on June 18th, has been a mainstay out of Georgia Tech. .2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Grayson Moore looked electric on the bump. Back-to-back strikeouts, 2 away in the top of the 6th.
And Chase Davis did leave the game, and taking over in center field is Owen Diodati. Jack Hausinger taking over at second base. Max Anderson moves over to first, and moving to right field is Alan Roden.
The defensive changes for the Gateman as a fastball is off the bat and out of the glove of Peter Burns. Matt Hogan unable to get a grip on that pitch. Yeah, so just like Alex mentioned, Chase Davis out of this ball game. We hope everything is okay as he exited the game limping a bit after getting hit by a pitch on his left foot. Off speed makes the count 0-2. Now the entire right side of the infield is different, same with right field and center. Grayson Moore a chance to strike out the side. Already has 3 Ks in his back pocket. 0-2 pitch. Fastball fouled away. Matt Hogan out of South Carolina. They're playing a season for the Gamecocks. 3 years at Vanderbilt. The right fielder up at the plate. A 1-for-2 day with a double. 0-2. Off-speed swing and a miss. Grayson Moore enters the 6th in a tie ball game and strikes out the side. What a job done by the Vanderbilt Commodore. And we head to the bottom of the 6th. The Gatemen a chance to now take the lead as they're entering their first frame in a tie ball game. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 5-5 between the Anglers and the Gatemen on the broadcast network.
Tom and Jean Yockey were passionate about the game of baseball. Over their 7 decades as owners of the Boston Red Sox, the Yockeys greatly invested in youth and amateur athletics in our community. They recognized the important skills baseball can bring to players both on and off the field: cooperation, respect, teamwork, friendships, and confidence. The Yockey Foundation has been proud to support the Cape League for more than 25 years.
Local craft beer, great food, games, outdoor beer garden, and live music. That's all at Stone Path Malt. Better malt, better beer. Conveniently located across from Wareham Crossing in the West Wareham Industrial Park. Check them out. We're in the bottom of the sixth at Spillane Field in a 5-5 ball game between the Wareham Gateman and the Chatham Anglers. The third time these two teams are duking it out. The first was on June 20th in a doubleheader in which the Anglers took both games. And before we see LeBaron Johnson throw the first pitch to Max Anderson, Tim Carey, the home plate umpire, is giving a talking to Tom Holliday, the manager for the Anglers. You wonder what this conversation is about. Because not a pitch has been thrown in the bottom of the sixth. Well, as they're talking it out, we'll go full picture on this game. It's an Anglers team that's 6-14-6. They're at the bottom of the East Division, while the Wareham Gatemen are 11-12-3, are fourth in the West. A reminder, it's an 8-team playoff, so two teams won't make it, both that are in fifth place in each respective division. So right now the Anglers would be out of the playoffs. And Tim Carey looks up in our direction and says the issue has been settled. I don't know exactly what that issue is. And now all the players are walking off the field, or at least Max Anderson is.
So it looks like they just called the game because all the lights are not coming on and they called it a safety issue.
So that'll be the ball game at 5-5?
Yeah.
Wow. What a development at Spillane Field. The lights are on, but not every one of the lights are on. There's about, I would say, 12 lights per pole, and not every single one of them are on. And Tim Carey, the home plate umpire, says it's a safety issue. So this game's over. The final line for both teams, the Anglers with 5 runs on 8 hits, the Gatemen 5 runs on 6 hits, and that's the ball game. So the resiliency of Wareham proves to be vital, because down 4-0 and this game only going 5.5, the Gatemen would have been in the dumps if they weren't able to come back. It's a tie ball game between these two teams, 5-5. I have never seen this before. I've seen safety hazard issues end ball games, but because all the lights aren't turned on, I have never seen this before. But that's it. Wow. Well, 5-5's your ball game. Alex, I'm just as stunned as you are.
Well, what's surprising to me, I mean, yeah, I've never seen this before.
Because I was looking out and seeing the lights and wondering, hey, not all of them are turning on. And it's become a safety hazard. Wow, that is the ball game. The Gatemen and the Anglers tied at 5. We're in the bottom of the 6th, no more. 5-5 is your final score through 5.5 on a field that has lights. Huh. Well, you might not ever see something as crazy as this, but it's happened. This is the game of baseball for you. Chatham ties with Wareham 5-5 as the Wareham Gatemen move to 11-12-4, and the Chatham Anglers are 6-14-7. And now the Anglers sport the most amount of ties on the Cape by an individual team, and that's your ball game. So, for our sideline reporter Claire Foley and Alex Feuz and our producer Joey Demaray, I'm Cameron Ezeir saying so long from one of the wackiest nights of baseball you will ever watch or hear. A safety hazard spells an end to this game at a 5-5 score. Well, we hope you had a great game and a great rest of your night as well. We'll see you tomorrow as the Gatemen welcome the Cotuit Kettleers to Spillane. That's a 6 o'clock start. So long. 5-5 tie between these two teams through 5.5, and we'll see you tomorrow.